Okay, so quick fire round. I want to talk through ego and emotion and the core mistake you're making when it comes to negotiations. Quick fire, so this will be 5 minutes or less. Stick with me. These could change your life. Number one, reacting, not responding. This matters so much because when you hear something and it feels like an attack, you immediately go into reaction mode. You defend, you argue, you battle with it, or you shut down. So why does this kill deals? Well, you lose control. You've lost control of yourself and the deal. Trust erodes and things escalate. And that's where you blow up the deal. I would say the biggest one is getting defensive. When someone's said something and you react, typically we're on the back foot, we're defensive. We're trying to prove our point and get it across. And in negotiation, this is a big no-no. We're trying to force the issue. That's not how you influence. I want you to have ultimate control of yourself so that you can respond and you choose exactly how you respond in the moment. You aren't provoked by an attack. Remember, it may well be an attack to get you to react. And if someone can push you around and they know they can trigger you, then they've won. They've got control of you. And that's exactly what they're looking to do sometimes. Expert negotiators will know the emotional triggers and ways to pull you in so that you will reveal more information, you'll concede earlier, and things will escalate. And from there, they can start to take it down a course that benefits them. But more than that, collaborative negotiators that can influence and persuade and de-escalate the tension in the room. That's what an expert negotiator is. That's what a world-class value maker is, a rainmaker. And I see that in you. That's why you're watching this video. So remember, respond, don't react. The next one is overconfidence. And I know there's a lot of videos out there, a lot of motivational speakers that will talk about confidence, but I'm talking about a specific kind of overconfidence in negotiations. This is when you assume that you deserve more and you underestimate the leverage that the other party has. So there's a massive misunderstanding there. One, you're inflating your confidence and that you deserve it. And two, you misunderstand completely the options on the table and the flexibility of the other party. This is a massive mistake, right? You start to miss signals in the room, things that are being communicated, you haven't seen them. You make very bad demands. So you come across terribly. Your reputation is damaged. And negotiation is all about your network and how you build relationships. That is negotiation, value creation. So if you make bad demands that just don't fit the context of the deal, and you miss signals and cues, causing you to walk away from better offers, you're putting yourself in a very tough spot. So overconfidence is a big one to watch out for. Have that humility in the negotiation room. And this feeds into the next one, letting ego drive the outcome. And this is major. If you're trying to win rather than find a solution, you're thinking that you're in a fight. And that's not negotiation. You need to be creative. Creativity and solutions come through that collaborative process. It's through the ability to influence and persuade and to create maximum value. That's creativity. That's what you should be doing. But if you're just trying to win, to put someone in a box, and I would say, I know that shows out there, TV shows, movies, they love to show this, especially lawyer programs. They love to show someone going in and winning. And unfortunately, in the real world, it doesn't work like that. If you do that, your reputation will be damaged. You will not build credibility in your industry. You'll burn relationships on the way up. That's the worst. You'll burn relationships. Doors will close. What do I say? Close deals, not doors. Doors will close. Opportunities will be missed because you're trying to win and actually you should be out there trying to create possibility. So completely different games. The next one is cognitive biases and shortcuts. So this is when you rely on small tactics like anchoring, confirmation bias, and framing to lead the way. And you've got these tactics ruling the roost instead of doing the deep work. And because of this, you miss the underlying value. You accept offers too quickly. You ignore the hidden, more intrinsic value because you're focused on the quick win. You accept those deals too quickly. You misread the incentives and the intentions of the other party. It's because you've got these biases. There's a confirmation bias in there already. So what is a confirmation bias? It's a tendency to seek out information and beliefs that confirm our pre-existing beliefs. So you're just seeing all the things that reiterate and confirm what you already think, and you miss the big picture. You might even miss the real truth, the things that are actually going on. This could be a very good deal for you, but because you've got a confirmation bias and you're anchoring super high, way too high, something that doesn't make sense, and you believe that this is the best deal and this is all that they've got, unfortunately, you miss the bigger picture. You miss the equity. You miss what they're saying, the cues, the bigger side of the deal. And that leads you to accept deals too quickly. Oh my goodness, that's a huge mistake. Accepting deals too quickly because you've got those biases, you're taking those shortcuts, and you don't get the full value because you haven't spent the time to actually create the deal, the possibility. Do the deep work, do your due diligence, do preparation. Take time to uncover and understand. And the last one here I'll leave you with is lack of presence or being in today. Right, we're focused on yesterday, we're focused on tomorrow, we're worrying. And what happens when that happens? Right, we have a lack of trust in ourselves and we revert to our old habits. We forget the plan. So we forget that we came into this negotiation and we were going to be emotionally controlled, centered, calm. We weren't going to react. We were going to respond. And we forget it. We throw the baby out with the bathwater and it all goes wrong. And the thing here is you default to your natural style. So whether that's pushy, timid, lack of confidence, trying to focus on the win instead of actually being creative, shortcuts, cognitive biases, all of these mistakes I've been trying to protect you from, you default to that style. Why does this happen? It's because we revert under pressure. So the pressure happens and then we revert to our default state. And unfortunately, this causes deals to lose momentum and you fail to read the shifts and the dynamics of the room and what's happening in the deal, and you miss opportunities. Right? It's like you're flying blind. You're going back into that normal, pushy, aggressive stance, that one-dimensional negotiation, that distributive negotiation, even though this is an integrative collaboration negotiation where long-term relationships would matter more. And you take the win, and it doesn't work. So in summary, when these things happen, these mistakes happen, and you put ego and emotion first, you tend to prepare brilliantly. We all know we've got to prepare in negotiations. And then, when things get real, you freeze, fight, or you flight instead of flexing that negotiation muscle that you've built, that true influence and persuasion. So these were the top mistakes that you make when you put your ego first and you let it rule the roost. So don't do that. Instead, close deals, not doors. Today I want to share something that's incredibly close to my heart. It's this book here in my hands. It's the First Domino. I wrote this to help you expand into new markets, to make the most of your first 90 days. Whether it's a new role that you've started, whether it's a new team that you've taken on, or your company has launched a new product or service, or you're just a founder and you really haven't landed that first major client yet. Imagine this, you're starting a new job and you're sitting down and you're opening up your computer and you've got 43 new Slack messages, a ton of new emails and content that you've got to learn. The pressure's on. Not only that, but you've got to go out and you've got to meet all these new people, these new staff members, these new clients. But most of all, you've got to add value. And whether you acknowledge it or not, you know the pressure is on. You know that this time is precious and that this company has brought you on for a reason. And you're there to prove that reason. That's one of the reasons I wrote this book. It's something that you can read on the weekend and implement on Monday to guide that process so that you can systematize the process of excelling and bring those trusted relationships forward and move the needle on landing your first major client. This book is going to push you to do anything but be comfortable. It's going to help you get breakthroughs. If we tip that first domino, we're going to get a chain reaction of success. That's why I wrote it. It's a playbook to understand the psychology of sales, the intelligence that you need to build leverage into your sales process. And it's for anyone that wants to do business development, growth, or just build their personal brand and take ownership of the direction of their career, their money, and their life. When you land that first domino, that first major client, I want you to post it up and tag me. If you are bold enough to take on the challenge, to really put it into action, to lead with heart, I promise you, you will change your stars So if you're looking to create a generational legacy and make an impact, this is the first domino, and it only takes one.